guys, welcome to another day. I'm feeling a lot better today, although still slightly groggy, but oh well. Such is life, such is life. I have a Cambridge Wellingborough, and I'm supposed to be going back for a second. So, don't know what that will be. Could be an Enfield. So, we shall see, we shall see. To be fair, it's a Sunday, I've got the next 2 days off. Got to go see the accountant because he lost all me, well, claims he sent them back, but I never received them, my bank statements, and it's my annual taxation stuff and all that crap, so he needs those. Hasn't even worked it out yet. It's like, but such is life again. The way my year's been going, nothing is surprising me at the minute, so I just grin and bear it, carry on, and see what happens. That's all I can do. But anyway, I'm going to finish doing my paperwork, put my card in, clean the crap off the windshield, as per normal, and bugger off to Cambridge. So I shall see you when I get up there. that's made it to Wellingborough. I forgot to turn the camera on between Cambridge and Wellingborough, so there's no real footage. Oh, Cambridge. Oh. Usually their yard is lovely, lots of room. But God knows what's going on. The place next to them, where I used to go in, spin round, do that kind of stuff, well, they've stopped us doing that now. Fair enough, whatever, somebody else has taken over, doesn't want trucks turning in the yard, whatever. And there was one of our fridge boxes up there, parked on the road, the back way, if that makes sense. And I had to turn in at the first entrance to the yard instead of the second entrance, which puts the building on that side of me. And they got class 2s in there, 7.5 tons in there, and everything's everywhere. It's manic. And so I've gone in 45-degree angle and just blindsided round by the container, straight onto the dock. Not really blind because you're about a 45-degree angle, but you know what I mean. I just went back, lovely jubbly, spot on. Got out, wandered in, got myself a coffee, saw the manager, came out the back, and the guy standing there, he's like, "That door's knackered, mate, you need to drive into this one." I'll reverse it in this one. I was like, oh, after all that, bugger. Because if I'd have known that, I could have gone into the site, that side, spun round, driven out, and then just reversed in nice and simple. Because of where the trailers were, I couldn't have done the tight angle that I needed to get onto the first door, but I could a shallower angle to get on the other door. It don't matter, but whatever, it was just carnage. But yeah, quite fun. And I'm supposed to have a second run, so what I'm going to do is finish off a break now. Now I've got an hour and 45 minutes driving time. So do just over 30 minutes here for my working time. I know I can do 15, but I always do 30. If I do a working time reset anyway. Do 30. And that should get me back to have a secondary break before going back out again. I think. It should do. Fingers crossed. Because I'm going to go back via the A1 because the M1's looking a little bit naff. It's looking a little bit, knackered. As is always the case. It is, right. Knackered between the A45 and Broughton, and then it's okay for a bit, and then just before the 421 it's knackered again. Obviously there's roadworks round there, and it's okie dokie, then it's knackered again. No, I'm not using the M1. No, I'll use the A14 and the A1 because none of that's knackered. It's all lovely. And the other thing is, it's like one of the last sunny weekends before the weather turns, and so you're getting all the car shows, and trundling down the A14 you're getting all the vehicles go past you, and there's truck shows on as well, so you've got American rigs flying past you. It's like, yay. But anyway, I suppose I should, well, 5 more minutes, and then do some paperwork, and then bugger off. So I'll see you when I get back down to base. That's me back in the yard. Got to go and try and find out what I've got now. But it's close. I've got it on my brake because I split my brake, didn't I? I took half hour up in Wellingborough to get down here because I'm supposed to have a second. And I never split my brakes. And I'm on 4 hours 28 minutes of combined driving time. I was going down the A1, I was thinking, this is going to be tight, this is going to be tight, this is going to be really tight. On 1.4 Digitacos, if you drive for less than 30 seconds, so less than the majority of the minute, it doesn't record it. I know, it records the speed you've done, but it doesn't record it as a minute's worth of driving time. You've got to have done more than a minute, more than 30 seconds of 1 minute driving time. And I got to the gate on 4 hours 28 minutes. I've parked the trailer up, dropped it, come round and parked the unit up. Still on 4 hours 28 minutes of driving. And that wasn't breaking the site limit. I got lucky. So there was a couple of bays relatively close. So I managed to put the trailer in there, and of course when you're just going around solo, it's pretty simple to park up. The reason I've closed this is because you can see who I'm rolling for at the moment. But yeah, I got to the gatehouse on 4 hours 28 minutes, dropped the trailer, got round, parked up, put it on brake, 4 hours 28 minutes. Yeah, so that was quite lucky. But anyway, I'm going to go and have a coffee, have a sit down, chat, and then see what I've got. Well, anyway, that is that. I didn't have a second. Perfectly fine. I've got 2 days off now. Beer time, beer time. I'm having a Cobra, 'cause I got a fridge full. No, being serious. Oh, sod it, I don't want to be serious. No, I've got to do the accountant's thing, because obviously I've got to print off the bank statements. Run that in on Monday. Have Simon coming round Tuesday. A couple of business ventures, business ideas we have. Talk about those. Because one driver I watch is American, Jay Cannell. I've mentioned him before. He is spot on with what he says. In this day and age, you need multiple streams of income. No ifs, no buts, no maybes. You try and survive on your job now, and you can't. This year has kicked me through a wall. It's unreal. You see, one of the best things you can try and do is get debt free. And the issue with that is there are ways and means of getting debt free. Now, some people go to the extreme. They'll give up absolutely everything, move in with a parent or parents or the friend or something like that, sleep on someone's sofa. 18 months they'll subsist on water, pasta and nothing. You know, and they'll be like, well, 18 months I cleared my student loans. Oh. And you see them at the beginning of it, they look relatively normal and relatively well kept, and then at the end of it there's straggly hair, teeth are hurting them, and they're all weird and drained, and it's like, no. Don't do it extreme. Don't do it extreme. The trick with clearing debt, and I've done this a few times before, I was going to be doing this year, but obviously certain things happened. I altered my original plans, and Bert obviously changed jobs, so on and so forth. And I haven't done anything that I should have been doing this year, which is annoying. But the simple fact is, when it comes to debt clearing, you have to take your final settlement figures. Okay, because too many people get a debt. They get a loan of some description over, say, 5 years or however long, and then they forget about it. They just pay it, and pay it, and pay it, and pay it. They're oblivious to any interest rates going down, they're oblivious to any better deals, they're oblivious to how much they actually owe, they just pay it. Have you ever actually read like a finance agreement on something? You know, you signed to take 11,000 on finance, total amount repayable 14 grand. You've just lost 3 grand. You know, you've got your APR, and then you figure it, factor it over however many years. It's compounded interest. You're paying so much more than you need to. So my method is I organise my debts. You've got your least amount of debt all the way through to your biggest debt. Now for me, that would have been furniture on finance, credit cards. This is at the beginning of the year, credit cards. Loan, personal loan, and then car. Now the furniture on finance is 0% APR, so it's not going to cost me any more. Clear that off. Move that to one side, keep making the payments. It's not costing me any more than it was sold to me for. Credit cards. You got so many credit cards now. You've got 0% balance transfers for 18 months, da 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 da. Well, there you go. Balance transfer, 0%. The stupid thing is, this just freaked me out. At one point I had £3,000 on my Lloyd's credit card. Yeah? And I was paying interest on it and everything like that. And I got a Barclays credit card. 0% on balance transfers up to, I think it was £4,000 or something. And it was an introductory offer, and I think it was about 10 quid charged to transfer. It was something really stupid, whatever, I can't remember off the top of my head. But I was paying interest on the Lloyd's card. So I balance transferred to Barclays. 0% interest for, I think it was 18 months in total. Yeah, it was 18 months. And then I get a letter from Lloyd's saying 0% on balance transfers, on the credit card for about a year, I think it was. And you look at it and you think, so I could now transfer the money I had on the credit card that I was paying interest on back to the credit card that I was, and it won't cost. Bonkers. But that's what happens. So you sort yourself out with your credit cards. You clear what you can, 0 balance transfers, so on and so forth, 0% on those. And then that's the same as your furniture. And then you look at your loans. Now in my case it was 1 loan at the beginning of the year. It is now 2, because the credit cards got wrapped into a loan I took out. So you look at your final settlement figure. Now your actual figure could say, well, I've got an M&S loan and it came through not so long ago, £10,000 or something was how much was owing. The final settlement figure is about 8,800 or something like that. So you look at that and you think, well, that's going to take a while. But how long will 4,400 take? So you clear that. You figure out how much you've got to extra pay, and then you clear that. You bring that down as quickly as you can, and then once that goes down, you can then think, well, if I re-loan for what's remaining, spread that over a longer period, I'm going to be paying less each month, which gives me more to save, which then means I can save quicker to then pay it off quicker. And with the way interest rates have been going recently, downwards, you'll be saving interest the entire time. So my original plans were to cut things down, kind of halve them where possible, cut them down as much as possible, and then figure out where I stand at the end of the year, re-loan over a longer period to cut my monthly outgoings down, to then save even quicker, to cut even more down. There you go, bingo, Robert's your mother's brother. And that was my plan. Of course I didn't do that. I had to do other things to put myself in a position to do something that is now not occurring, and so on and so forth. So getting debt cleared, there are ways and means of doing it. But you've got to be able to, you've got to have a bit of noodle. You've got to be able to balance things. You've got to be able to look at what's the best deal, where can you put yourself, how much can you realistically clear with, normal living costs. And then you've got to factor, well, what is a needed expense. Now for me, with the mileage I do, the car, it's just an expense. It's going to cost me money. If I get a second-hand car at 30,000 miles a year, I'm going to have clutch, flywheel, oil pump, water pump. It's going to be an expense. So if I get a new car, what's the expense? It's going to be roughly the same. Who cares? And so you cut down whatever you can, where you can, and you get your debts. You group your debts together. Minimum one. What's the least? Usually that's going to be furniture, and I don't know anyone who ever gets furniture that isn't on 0% APR. Do you? So don't worry about that. That's not going to cost you any more money. That's just what it is. And to be fair, it's so bloody cheap. Who cares? Then of course you got your credit cards. Well, what can you do? What can you get? And I've got an exceptional credit rating because I've always balanced myself as much as possible. So I've always paid something down, taken something out, paid something down, so on and so forth. So I've got, I think the last time I checked, 987. Yeah, 987 was my credit rating. So I get accepted on virtually everything. Which for somebody who's self-employed is amazing. But you've got to identify what it is, identify your final repayment figures on like car finance, on loans, and that is the figure you need to try to halve as quickly as possible. Don't try and clear it all in one, because if you look at £8,000 and you're thinking I can do it in a year, you won't. You just won't. Something will go wrong. But can you clear 4,000 in a year? Yeah. So then, that 5-year loan of 8 grand, well, you've cleared half of it in 1 year, leaving you 4 years to do 4 grand. Reloan that one to save interest if you can. If it's not going to save you any money, don't bother, obviously. And of course, you've done 4 grand in 1 year, 4 grand the second year, so with a 5-year loan, you've paid it off in 2. And that's how I've always run my life until this year, which is what screwed me. I mean, at the moment, Bert earns less each month at the moment than she has going out in bills, and that doesn't include food, fuel, cat stuff, or anything like that. So I'm having to clear all that, so I'm not doing anything that I was originally planning to do, which is why everything has seemed to snowball for me so quickly, because I cut things and then I look around. But at the moment, because I haven't been able to clear anything, I can't consolidate the 2 loans into one and do what I wanted to do. I'm still running 2 loans parallel to each other when I shouldn't have been running more than one. And it's just things like that. But Jay Cannell is right in that you've got to get debt free and you've got to get multiple streams of income. And on Tuesday I've got Simon coming around to talk about that. I know I went a bit off topic with the entire debt clearing thing. It's something that I've been thinking about today. But yeah, I've got Simon coming around on Tuesday, so got all that going on. But anyway, I'm going to go and let them know I finished now. I'm done. I'm going home. Oh dear. It's quite fun when you do a short day. I mean, Cambridge Wellingborough, you get back again. Yesterday, I just had Wellingborough. I had 8 hours to do Wellingborough. I'm paid for 8 hours. I'm not costing them any money. So it's kind of nice when that happens, because you can just sit back and relax and think, you know what, I can actually enjoy my day. I can actually enjoy what I'm doing. Because most of the time you get the days where you just got to get there, got to get there, got to get there, got to get there, got to get there. How am I doing for time? Got to get there, got to get there. How am I doing for time? Got to get there, got to get... And you just are dealing with everything around you, whereas when you have a shorter day at the weekend, or a half day or something like that, you're not going to cost them any money. They're paying you for 8 hours. So it don't matter. If it's a 4-hour day, they're paying you for 8 hours. If you want to get home quick, fine, whatever. If you don't, just take your time, take a breath, and just enjoy. Just enjoy the drive. But anyway, I have waffled on, as usual, for far too long. I was watching... I'm going to keep waffling. I don't care. I'm going to keep waffling. I was watching Fast as Fox, most recent upload, where he had the Renault Magnum. And he showed you the stairs. I've talked about them before now. You know, oopsie-daisy out the side of one of them things. You're gonna knock yourself out. And he showed you the stairs, and they're not nice. And I believe the Renault Magnum was didn't Renault buy plans or something for the Transcontinental, the old Transcontinental, and that's what the Magnum was based on. Because I've driven the Transcontinental before now, and it was a left hooker. And I'll punch the windscreen if I try and reenact it that way, but it's like you're changing gear down there. I actually know somebody I used to drive with, quite an old guy, who dislocated his shoulder changing gear in a Transcontinental. And of course, I heard that rumour years ago that the Renault Magnum was based on a Transcontinental. And then of course you've got Fast as Fox showing you around saying about the handbrake being back there, and I'm thinking, yeah, that's where the gears used to go. But anyway, that's a side thing. But anyway, cheers for watching. Like, subscribe, share about, do whatever it is you usually do. I'll see you in the next one. Might make something tomorrow. There won't be anything made Tuesday, I can tell you that here and now. But if I make something tomorrow, that should carry me through, which means Wednesday. Yeah, there shouldn't be a missed one now, unless the laptop does something stupid. But anyway, I shall catch you in the next one. So thanks, guys, and see you later.